A massive 1,000-foot crater in Beirut's suburbs makes you wonder, is there any place safe from such bunker-buster bombs? Should Mr. Putin or his bestie Kim Jong-un be worried about their own bunkers? Let's face the facts. In 2003 and 2011, the same 2,000-pound American bomb live unit struck the bunkers of Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi. However, due to intelligence errors, both dictators escaped the destructive power of the bombs, casting a mythical shadow over their effectiveness. But those doubts vanish when you see the undeniably devastating power of the Blue 109s. These are unguided heavy bombs with a solid steel casing at least 1 inch thick. Their explosive is a mix of 80% TNT and 20% aluminum powder. It may sound simple, but thanks to their kinetic energy and ultra-tough casing, these bombs can pierce through 380 millimeters of steel or 6 feet of concrete before detonating. Are you paying attention, Mr. Putin? We're not the only ones who know the power of the Blue 109s. Hezbollah's leaders were well aware of these bombs as far back as the mid-80s. That's why they used over 100,000 tons of concrete to build underground bunkers and the tunnels connecting them. So, Hezbollah leaders felt completely safe sitting deep underground in the middle of Beirut, believing the Blue 109 wouldn't reach them. But for some reason, Hassan Nasrallah and his cronies forgot that Israelis are very creative people. After all, it was Israel that managed to sell Hezbollah antiquated radios and pagers for a lot of money and then blow them up. By the way, Israeli Mossad is currently looking for a graphic designer. It's hard to imagine what they're up to. This is a joke. However, if you want to see a video about the pager operation, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So where were we? Oh yeah, to achieve the result, the heavy Blue 109s were equipped with Joint Direct Attack munitions, known as JDAMs. They turn unguided bombs into precision munitions, but that's not all. The Israeli Air Force used the tactic of daisy chaining. The idea was to first drop several bunker buster bombs on the target, and then use traditional high explosive bombs that hit the same holes in the concrete that appeared after the first strike. And it worked. The mission was accomplished, and the damage was even less than it could have been. Within a few seconds, dozens of rounds hit the target. It's hard to even imagine what was happening inside the Hezbollah bunker at the time of the strike. After all, the explosion of a high-explosive bomb in a closed space is similar to the blast of a Christmas firecracker in a glass. Never do it. While in fairy tales, villains usually live in a dense forest, in real life, bad guys prefer subterranean. But is the daisy chaining tactic suitable for hitting Putin's bunker? The challenge is that for 70 years, first the USSR and then Russia were gearing up for nuclear war. As a result, dozens of super bunkers were constructed across Russia for the elite and military command. There are several within Moscow alone. Some are still classified and managed by the Kremlin's FSO, the Russian Presidential Guard. For example, the bunker at Stalin's dacha in Kuntsevo, which is capable of withstanding the onslaught of a nuclear weapon's shockwave and minimizing the impact of radiation, is still secret. However, the construction of the bunkers was based on a unified Soviet standard, so one declassified bunker can be used to learn about the protective capabilities of others, including Bunker 1, which is located under the Kremlin. So, a typical bunker consists of 4 blocks tunnels connected by passages. The diameter of each tunnel is 31 feet. The concrete thickness of the bunker dome is 20 feet. Of course, the Blue 109 is a child's toy compared to this kind of protection. This bomb is not capable of destroying Russian concrete. What if we use the daisy chaining tactic? Even this is impossible, because the main rooms of the bunker are 213 feet deep. This is lower than the tracks of the Moscow subway. The bunker is connected to the surface by an elevator shaft and stairs. It would take several dozen Blue 109s to break through the 200-foot layer of soil. But it's hard to imagine that 20 to 30 F-15 Eagles would suddenly find themselves deep in Russian territory or over Moscow unscathed. Such an operation would involve stealth bombers, which, in addition to being invisible, can carry heavier and more powerful bunker buster bombs. For example, in 2011, the US Air Force adopted the Penetrator GBU-72 MOP bomb by Boeing Corporation, which weighs 30,000 pounds. The only aircraft that can deliver the GBU-57 to the target is the B-2 Spirit strategic bomber. The B-2 is a precious asset, with only 19 units in existence. However, the US Air Force skillfully manages it. In October 2024, the B-2 Spirits sent a menacing message to Iran. Only stealth bombers could carry out this mission. It was a strike on 5 underground weapons depots belonging to the Houthis in Yemen. According to some reports, the mission employed Penetrator GBU-57 MOPs. The B-2 can carry 2 of these bombs, which means several bombers were involved in the strike. Look at that. They just cut through the enemy's air defenses as a knife through butter and punished the Houthis for their antics in the Red Sea. At the same time, this strike was a signal to the Houthis' benefactors Iran, which also hides its nuclear facilities underground. The attack was so successful that the US immediately decided to triple the production of GBU-57s, increasing it to 6 to 8 units per month. Formally, the GBU-57 was designed to physically eliminate North Korean dictator Kim with non-nuclear weapons in response to his nuclear program. The fact is that during the Kim dynasty, North Korea built large underground facilities. There are 84 known tunnels under the South Korean defense line with 1 brigade per hour capacity. Kim Jong-un's nuclear storage facilities are also hidden deep under hundreds of feet of solid rock. That's why the South Korean side has been working to develop an effective penetrating weapon all the time. These efforts have recently resulted in the Hyunmoo-5 missile with an 8-ton warhead. The Hyunmoo-5 has a monstrous kinetic energy due to its fall, which is 10 times higher than the speed of sound. The impact of this missile can be compared to a tactical nuclear strike. Kim Jong-un's nuclear storage facilities and tunnels are under attack, but North Korea has many more underground fortifications of various sizes. It is believed that the North Korean Air Force has 3 underground air bases of enormous size. For example, the underground base in Wonsan has a runway that cuts through the mountain, 5,900 feet long and 90 feet wide. But that's not all. One North Korean defector claims that since 2004, North Korea has built at least 800 bunkers capable of hiding 1,500 to 2,000 fully armed fighters near the border. Fantastic. But where is Kim Jong-un himself hiding? A full-fledged bomb shelter in the Pyongyang residence of the Kim dynasty was created in the late 20th century. The residence buildings are connected by underground passages that lead to deep bunkers. Each of them is equipped with the latest technology at the time of construction and can become a command post. But Kim Jong-un probably doesn't trust outdated technology very much. According to Andre Chang, editor of the Hong Kong-based Kanwa Asian Defense Review, the young Korean dictator has built a new bunker in the bowels of Mount Paektusan. This is a sacred place for communists. Plus, it is very close to China, which is ready to provide Kim Jong-un with refuge in case of danger. Therefore, when the former Chief of Staff of the US Air Force, General Mark Welch, learned that the American GBU-57 carries 5,300 pounds of explosives, he exclaimed, "Dictator Kim will have nowhere else to hide from us. This is more than 10 times the explosive power of the Blue 109. After the 4th upgrade, the GBU-57 is able to penetrate the ground to a depth of 200 feet and destroy multi-level reinforced concrete floors with a total thickness of more than 65 feet. As you can see, these characteristics are entirely consistent with those of the Soviet-style Moscow bunkers. Putin is trembling. But no. The fact is that although Russia's Bunker 1 was built in Soviet times, its depth is much greater, up to 1,000 feet. The GBU-57 will get stuck in the ground before it has even traveled halfway down. According to US intelligence, the bunker is located under the Kremlin and is one of Russia's most fortified underground shelters, and thus in the world. The fact is that the infrastructure of this facility is constantly being improved, and the protection is being strengthened with new types of concrete. In addition, according to US military intelligence, there is another bunker in the Russian capital that is similar in strength, located near the Lomonosov Moscow State University. These 2 bunkers are connected by a secret government underground railroad codenamed Metro 2. The underground railroad tracks have several branches that can lead to other secret bunkers, as well as to the VIP terminal of Vnukovo Airport, 1,000 feet underground. It's hard to imagine that there is a weapon that can penetrate such a layer of soil and concrete, but there is such a weapon. So let's meet the new American GBU-72 Advanced 5K Penetrator of 5,000 pounds caliber. It sounds threatening, but 5,000 pounds is much less than the 30,000 pounds of the GBU-57. Why is the 5K Penetrator considered to be cooler? US Air Force representatives didn't disclose the characteristics of this bomb, but we managed to find out some things. First, due to its small size, the GBU-72 can be carried not only by bombers, but also by fighters. Secondly, the GBU-72 has a high penetration rate due to its heavy-duty shell. But wait. However, the whole world knows that the penetrating ability of a bomb primarily depends on the kinetic energy that the bomb accumulates during its fall. A bomb weighing 5,000 pounds can't eat into the soil further than a bomb weighing 30,000 pounds. What is the trick here? The fact is that GBU-72 most likely has a multi-level charge. Here's how it can work. The bomb overcomes the first few meters of soil or concrete using kinetic energy. Then the detonator, which sets off the first charge, is triggered and clears the way for the bomb to continue. Then the next charge, and so on. Thanks to this algorithm, the GBU-72 has a depth of impact up to 1,300 feet. When the bomb reaches the bunker, the main charge in the tail section is triggered. Bang! Oh, this is really a devilish thing. It's basically daisy chaining, just rolled into one. Of course, for this system to work properly, it requires extremely high accuracy of calculations and a large number of tests. The first and second were provided by computers. It is known that the creation of GBU-72 was accelerated by computer modeling. So, is Putin trembling? Yes, he is. That is why some of Putin's residences began to be remodeled when the first copies of the GBU-72 Advanced 5K Penetrator were delivered to the US Air Force. For example, in early 2024, the main building of Russian President Vladimir Putin's Bokorov Stream residence in Sochi was demolished. A deep pit has appeared on the site of the main building, and construction equipment is working, although no official reports of work in the residence were made. And in the Angudai district of the Altai Republic, where Putin's unofficial residence is located, one of the buildings allegedly burned down and new construction began. According to the discovered blueprints, Russian President Vladimir Putin also has a secret network of underground tunnels running under his palace hideout on the Black Sea coast in Gelendzhik. This palace appeared in 2014, but the complex is being rebuilt again. It is possible that due to the new threats that have emerged, this residence may no longer meet the security standards of the first person in Russia. But why would the United States bother to create new bunker buster bombs if it has nuclear missiles and bombs that can destroy any shelter? The answer is really simple. Modern nuclear weapons aren't designed to destroy underground fortifications. They are designed to be detonated in the air to cause massive destruction. For example, the US Trident has a 455 kiloton warhead, which is 30 times more powerful than the Little Boy bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. This missile doesn't need penetration. The explosion occurs above the ground for maximum destruction. As for the anti-bunker bombs, such as the B-83, they've been decommissioned and sent for reprocessing to extract nuclear materials. Now, let's talk about the perimeter system, often compared to Skynet from Terminator. While its existence is indeed confirmed, the mechanism is much more complex and far from fully automated. In the event of nuclear war, if the Kremlin loses communication with the intercontinental ballistic missile positions and divisions, the 15A-11 command missile is launched. It's designed to transmit launch orders to the division command posts through a kind of communication satellite, so the system isn't fully autonomous like in the movies. However, perimeter has a severe drawback. It depends on the human factor. If suddenly everyone in the Kremlin or at the command posts of missile divisions is dead, who will launch the command missile? And who will receive the signal from it? So believing in a fully autonomous nuclear retaliation system might be a stretch. Russian propaganda tends to overhype its capabilities. What's your take? Share your thoughts in the comments.